Hey guys, it's Talion back with another art stream. We haven't had one of these in a long while. Not since I started Slay the Princess, I think. Yeah, it's been a few months, but yeah, we're back. Still working on the same illustration. It's more or less the same as where we left off. I did make a little bit of tweaks here and there, but it's pretty similar. So the next thing I wanted to get into here was coloring the line art. Although given how many layers I've split all of this across, it's going to be complicated. But you know what? We'll go for it. Let's see where to start. Let's start on me. Let's just start with the body, I guess. Coat, maybe? Let's go with that. Now what I typically do is take like the darkest area or the darkest color of a given area and make it a little bit darker. So let's see. I guess this is it. We'll want to lock the transparency. Let's try just filling it all in. I don't love that. That's better. Is that too light now? Maybe. I think that's all right. It's quite similar to what it originally was. Yeah, I like that. Okay. So are there any other layers that we need to do that to? So I see this one cuff is on a separate layer. So that's going to be a slightly different color. And I think the collar area is going to be changed as well. So let's make that like that, maybe? It ended up kind of being a very similar color to the original coat color. And let's maybe fill the appropriate parts of this with that color as well, although it is very similar. Like that? Sure. Okay. So I guess that's it for all the coat parts. Then, you know what, before I get into the skin, let me get my shirt as well. So this one's going to be a significant change. Whoops. Huh. Oh, whoops. I think I messed this up a little bit here. There's a little bit sticking out from across the line. Oopsies. Let's go fix that first. Well, I just saw that I'd messed this up, actually. I did not color within the lines very well, apparently. Where is skin color? Let's grab that real quick and fill it in. That's it. Oh, okay, sorry. Um, hmm. Okay, there we go. That should be better. Okay, fixed. Now back to where was the lining though? Probably on the body layer. Yeah, there we go. All right. So here we're gonna go very dark. I don't know, let's try like that maybe. Like that. Is that good? So now these lines are actually a little bit more visible. I think that's too much maybe. Maybe this color, whatever it is. Oops. Oh. Is that good? I think it'll do. But this layer also includes some skin colors. So let's do that too. It's a good skin line color. Is that okay? Actually, we should probably test this um, on the face first. I have way too many layers. This is awful. So there, especially in the ear, we can see that that's too light. And also now that I'm changing the colors, you can kind of see where like this is also kind of outside the lines a little bit. We can fix that, not a huge deal. But then I think this is going to end up, well, I also don't have to make the entire layer one color. I can mix things up. So, okay, I'll start with that. I think that's pretty decent, although the skin lines actually ended up darker than the coat lines, which is a little bit funny. Hmm. I have too many layers because I'm doing a lot of dynamic things pretty much because I'm splitting up basically every possible object into its own layer. Um, so that's nice in some ways, but it does make things a little bit tedious. So it'll be nice later when I'm trying to do stuff with it. But for now, it is a little bit more complicated. Um, hmm. Okay, I think I'll go with this for the color for now, and then the parts that are kind of more in light, I will change to a different color. But for the first pass, let's get all of the face stuff one color. Should I make this stuff all this color as well? The layers can be labeled. It is a lot of work. So they are, the important ones are labeled. So I have this face, eye color, eyes, etc. It's just still kind of a bother to try to read through all of them. Some of these shading and highlighting layers aren't labeled just because there's like a bazillion of them, and having to go through and label them manually would be a huge pain. But yeah, I think I've actually done a pretty good job of keeping all these layers organized. It is definitely, so I do normally use a lot of layers, not usually quite this many, because like I said, I am trying to keep each component in its separate like set of layers. So let's figure out which things I want to do. So I can, well, actually the I don't know what color the eyebrows should be. I think that's a decent color for the eyebrows. I feel like they should probably more be a color based on the hair color, but that's fine. Um, I think that's good. Then back to the body. Oh, oops, I'm using the wrong tool. Let's go back with the correct one. There we go. You know what? No, I'll leave the eyebrows as is for now and just make the nose and mouth. Okay, body. On hands, get the skin color as well. That actually looks good. Okay. Um, okay, so I think that's the body done actually. Uh, Hair next, I think. Um, so I do have this hair gradient thing going on. I'm just going to start with a base hair color and then maybe adjust later. Let's go with the darkest part there and then turn that down. Is this, what is this? Head back, I think. No, I messed that up. Is that okay? I kind of feel like I like the slightly lighter version better. I'll go with that for now. And then I think the lighter area here, I'm gonna adjust later. Which one's which? Okay, this one. All right, and then finally the ponytail. Wait, before that, let's actually see it. And just fill. That coloring actually works surprisingly well with the gradient. I think I'll still do a little bit of gradient though. Maybe just take a big airbrush and just go like, make it a little bit darker on the ends. Even more maybe. Yeah, that'll do. I like the middle stage best. All right. Then do the earring real quick. It's a very small detail, but where even is that? Here. Okay, there's that. And now just the eyes and eyebrows. Yeah, that's good. Eyebrows, I kind of want to just do the same color as the hair. I've probably lost that by now, though. I'm just going to color pick from the hair. It's not entirely accurate, but it should be close enough. Oh, was that basically exactly the same color? Pretty darn close. Oops. Oh, well. Eyebrows are part of face. Yeah, that works. The eyelashes, I think I'll actually keep the darker color. I think that looks nice. Oh, almost forgot hair tie. There we go. All right. Now should I do the highlighting on this first or just move on? I think I want to just do the highlighting because I think this is going to be the main area that needs it. The rest should be pretty straightforward. So especially like on these shiny bits of the skin here, and maybe a little bit on the top of the hair. So let's get back to the head layer. I don't know, let's see what kind of color would be good for that. Maybe do with the watercolor. I might actually go in and back to this. What is this, the body layer? I think what I should do is erase a little bit of this. And probably extend this skin layer, right? Is that what's going on here? Oh, god damn it. I didn't want to override that color. Oh well. All right. Okay, so now we don't have this kind of overlapping there. But now I lost that color that I was using before. No, I want it here. I think that's the right color, right? Is that the right color? Yeah, I think it is. And then I think I'm gonna go in with another even lighter color afterwards. But first, let's do the same thing elsewhere. Ah, oh my gosh, I forgot to put that back. Let's do the hands too, just a little bit. Okay, cool. And now let's go even brighter a little bit. Mm. Is that what I want to do? Yeah, I think I like that. Just make it extra glowy. Maybe do that on the nose as well, I think. Mm, not all the way. Like that? That's not bad. But now you have this line here that's really visibly overlapping, so I want to fix that. I can probably just put it underneath. It still looks weird though. There we go. Except now I think we need to do the same thing to the hair, because like this really dark hair against this bright part isn't working so great. Okay, hair time. Starting with the back hair. Is that good? Yeah, that's okay. I'm trying to draw on the wrong layer. Okay. Oh my gosh. Why do I keep drawing on the wrong layer? Okay, getting better. And finally, the ponytail. All right. Do I want to do an extra pass with even more glow? Where's that layer? Something like that. I think that's maybe excessive. Okay, a little tiny bit. Okay. I kind of want to give the skin edge more of like an orangey glow. So actually one of the things that I did in between, okay, let me demonstrate, was give it more of kind of that like saturated like skin glow. Where is it? This. So if I crank it all the way up, this is what it looks like. So it's this like these like bright orange highlights, but not quite that extreme. So if I turn it off, I don't know if you can really see it, but like that's the effect. It's a little subtle, but I think it helps a lot. So I want to do something a little bit similar on the lines as well. I'll just take this color, make it a little bit redder, and just a little, just more saturated. It's not doing anything at all. Am I even on the right layer? I am, for once. I don't know. I can't tell if that's doing anything. I think it's probably because I'm using these watercolor brushes that tend to blend a little bit too much, maybe. That'll do, I think. And the same thing on the face. Am I doing anything? No, I was on the wrong layer. Of course I was. Maybe I should just. Yeah, that's actually not bad. It'll do. Same thing here. There we go. Got a nice bit of glow to it now. But now again, it kind of clashes with the hair here. So let me take like this color. And just soften up this edge. I was actually thinking I might put this hair strip behind my head so it won't overlap like this, but I don't know. We'll see. I think that's good for now. All right. What else? So for the cabinets and other kind of wooden stuff. I was thinking I might just keep it this color because it's already this kind of dark brown, but I don't know. We can mess around with it. Uh, so I think that's it for me here. Let's, I guess, do the foreground stuff. Let's start with the tea stuff. I guess let's go from the bottom. Teapot. Ah, so I'd actually done the teapot in multiple layers. Oh, that's going to be annoying. Maybe I should just merge these layers. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to do that. Just, hello, merge. Thank you. Okay. That'll make things a little bit easier. Screw it. Fill. That's too light. Like that, maybe? Or like that? I kind of feel like I might want it to be a little pinker. Is that okay? I actually kind of like something like that a little bit better. Maybe a little bit lighter. I think I'll go with that for now. Is there a line for the T? I think there is. Oops. Where's the saucer? Ah, right there. The saucer kind of disappears a little bit when I do that, but that's okay because there's still like the contrast between it and the table. So I guess the T line is part of the cup. I'll include that. Make it a nice deep color. Gonna fix some more of this stuff that's overlapping weirdly. Oops. All right, there's that. The ghost color is going to be interesting. I think at this point I can combine the ghosts as well. Let's see. First of all, it's going to be hard to color pick this just because the ghost is so transparent, but let's see. One thing I could try is actually making the ghost lines lighter than the ghost itself. So like that. It definitely gives it a ghosty look. But even if I make it completely white, it just doesn't really stand out that much. I think something like this could work if the ghost itself were a darker color. But with the way it is now, I don't think that's going to work. So it's going to need to be like bright enough to be visible. Hmm. I don't really know what to do with the ghost. That looks okay, maybe. That looks pretty nice. Maybe I'll do the ghost's face in a different color to make it a little easier to see. Bluer. Although, maybe that's okay. If I do something weird. But again, it's really hard to read the lines against all this other stuff. I think this is the best option so far. Let me boost the ghost color. Thank you. I'm really happy with how it's coming out so far. The ghost is frustrating me slightly, though. It does help a little bit when I boost it up like that. Okay, I think I'll leave the ghost as is for now, although I'm also seeing now there's a bunch of gaps in here and stuff. So for the ghost, gaps aren't as big of a deal, but still. Can I color pick any of the ghost at all, or is it too transparent? Okay, well, I think the ghost is good enough for now. I might come back to it later. Plant. Um, I think for the basket, I might leave it this color, although maybe it should be even darker, actually. Okay, that's pretty good. Plants. Yeah, for the plants, that definitely helps. Not sure about this color, though. I think it's a little too saturated. There we go. Let's check that with the border. Yeah, it's fine. Let's leave the signboard for later once we've done the background. I just have to not forget about it. Okay, background. So I think this counter and the walls are roughly the same color, so they can get the same line color as well. While we're doing this, let's actually get rid of the foreground. I'm gonna keep myself here just for like reference for how I did the other colors, just so the style is kind of consistent. Is this a good color? Yeah, I think it works. And where was the counter? I think this can stay as it is, or maybe it should be darker. I think it's fine as is. Then I think this, whatchamacallit, this cabinet here and the countertop and these shelves are all about the same color, so I'm going to match those as well. I feel like they should be made a little bit lighter than they currently are, but if I go based off of the darkest color here. That might not happen. We'll see. So for instance, like that. Yeah, that just ended up getting darker and more saturated. Maybe I should do it like that. Yeah, I kind of like that actually. Go away for a second. You know what? I'm gonna fill the entire thing. It's gonna ruin this, but I can fix it. Oh, is that this color? Or was it this color? Yeah, I think this was the darkened color. Okay, cool, cool. All right, there's that. Take this color again and cabinet inside as well. Although maybe that needs a separate color. So the packages are still left, the cat is still left, and then all of these shelves. Let's do the shelves first. And then all of the contents. So it's not a significant change, but it is just a little bit more saturated, really. I have no idea what I'm going to do with the coloring of the jars. That'll be interesting. Oops. Actually, I'm going to go, I think I'm going to take this leaf line color and use that for the packages. Actually, let me get that from here. That's more reliable than Color Picker. The labels can also be the green color, I guess, maybe. No, no, I want to give them their own color. Just for funsies. Okay. The cat, of course, is the most important part and has to be saved for last. Let's figure out what to do with these teas. I kind of want to try, I had sort of a gray color for here. Maybe that would work. No, not at all. No, thank you. That's a tricky one. What do I do with that? Because I guess they just kind of reflect the colors around them. So maybe some variant of the shelf line color. I can just make them the same color, but is that good? I don't know. Just maybe a little bit off from that color. I feel like that's okay. But that looks too gray. I think this might be the best one I have so far. All right, I'm going with that. The teas, the lining of the teas, you don't even really see that much. And I feel like I'm just too lazy to pick out a separate color for each tea. Was this the jar color that I ended up going with? Yeah. Let's maybe make the teas that color as well, just to match the jars. At the very least, that looks really bad on the red one because the color of it is darker than the line color. Maybe let's just fix that one separately. I think that looks okay. Maybe do the same for this one too. All right, good enough probably. Okay, let's just get this one while we're at it, just with the same color. All right, cool. So that's what it's currently looking like. I am quite pleased so far. I think the main things we have left are cat and signboard, and then we'll be done with that. So currently the line color pretty much fades into the actual color, which I think looks fine here. So let's see. I guess I did end up splitting the cat into separate components. So like that, I guess. And then let's also just give it a little bit of color. That's too much. Like that, maybe. Is that good for cat? Maybe. Nothing is ever good enough for cat. Cat must be perfect. Just a little bit extra glowy cat. I think that's all right. Oops. All right, that'll do. I guess it's just the signboard then. Okay. So this outside part I think is pretty much the same color as this, which I left the original color, so that can stay. feel like that's too intense. I think that works better. Oh, actually, I probably should have repurposed the earring color for that, but I think that looks fine. Okay, cool. There we go. I guess it's kind of on to finishing touches from here. The first thing I wanted to do was write some stuff on this signboard. So, um, let's see, what color do we have here? That's a pretty good signboard color. Is it pencil good? Sure, just maybe in a smaller size. And with less stabilization. Um, hmm. Oops. So maybe we'll just put like a "be right back." Oops. Mm, that doesn't look quite right to me. Maybe it should be bigger. It's also hard to write with like a bit of perspective. Like I'm kind of ignoring it, but if you want it to be a little bit flattened this way, you know what? I'm going to put in a temporary thing with like kind of put in some guidelines. I could use actual like perspective lines for that, but that's too much work. How's that? It's getting there. I don't like the B for some reason. Sorry to subject you all to my perfectionism. Got to redraw everything a million times until it's just the way I want it to be. Maybe it's also just not in the right place. That's a little better. I don't know why I hate this so much. It's just not vibing with me. Rotate the canvas again. Maybe that'll help. That's probably good enough. Maybe I'll redo it later. I want to doodle something on it too. Maybe a little ghosty. Uh, that just looks silly. I don't like that. It's too much of a blob. Oops. That's better, I think. There we go. Okay, sweet. Is there anything else? Let's look at it with the border too. So this is the signboard version. We can take that away and put the ghost in, put me in. The ghost is still bothering me a little. I just feel like it's a little too low contrast, which, like, to be fair, it's a ghost, so it should be a little bit, what's the, like, incorporeal, but I feel like it's just a little bit hard to see. Try boosting its color a little bit. Does that help? I think that helps. Okay, yeah, I think that's good. Let's see what else. I think I do want a little bit more glow here up at the top of the hair to match with this, because this is pretty intense. I want to kind of, yeah, make it a little bit more consistent there. Not that I actually want to color pick the more orangey bit. Like that, maybe. And then I want to find a little bit. Maybe. Maybe I'll try with this again. That's too much. That's okay. Yeah, there we go. I think that's good. Um, let's put just a tiny, tiny bit of that in the ponytail as well. Like that. There we go. Do we want to put any kind of highlights like on the teapot and teacup maybe? Because those have a lot of this sort of glow to them. And maybe even do something like that on the jars. Let me mess around with it real quick. Although, I don't know, it's just that the glowy parts aren't like at the edge really. So I don't know if that would really make much sense. Except maybe like here on the teacup. Let's try it and see what happens. Does that help? Yeah, I feel like it kind of does. It's not ideal, but it's a slight improvement, I think. Sure, why not? And then what else was I thinking of doing that too? Right, the jars. Mhm. You know what? I'm just going to take this color and try to brush that on the jars a little bit, see if that does anything. Oh, that's actually pretty good. What if I just undo that for a sec and just make all the jars that color? That's too much. Okay. Oh, this is going to be awesome. Let me get rid of the ghost though. Oops. Oops. Sorry, I don't have much to say about this part of the process, but just kind of a little bit tedious. Just filling in all of these jars. So these jars ended up with kind of many different layers of highlights. which I think is the best way to do jars. All right, good. Yeah, it's pretty nice. I feel like maybe I overdid it with the jars, but I don't know. They're still pretty nice. I kind of feel like with all this glow stuff now, I need to add even more highlighting on the jars. Or maybe not. Maybe it's fine like this. Yeah, I think if the jars are too glowy, they'll take away from the main focal point. All right. Well, I'm sure if I come back and look at this after a while, I'll find other things that I want to change. But for now, I think it's good. So let's maybe start combining all this stuff. I'm gonna just save an extra copy just to have the full thing. And now I'm gonna start getting rid of all of the unnecessary layers. So starting with all this. So what do I need to be separate objects? I'm pretty sure, does everything, okay, not the cat. As far as the background stuff, the cat needs to be separate. This is the cat's shadow, right? The rest of this is all entirely static. I could maybe put the counter on a separate layer just in case I ever want to put anything behind it, which is an option, I suppose. But yeah, you know what, why not? So that's the counter. So the background is now all one layer. The counter is one layer. The cat shadow. The cat, I think we can just combine into cat and tail. We don't need a folder for that anymore. Then the foreground, I think the signboard can just all be one thing. Hanging plant is a little bit more complicated. That needs to be separate. I don't know, maybe I'm doing this too soon and I'm going to end up wanting to change everything later. But at some point you have to commit. Teacup and saucer, I think, can all be one thing. And then the ghost will be one thing. Although I kind of don't want to lose the transparency setting of the ghost, so I'm just going to leave that separate for now. And then the teapot is fine as is. And finally, the most complicated part. Ponytail is one layer. The body, I think, can be one layer. And it can actually probably be merged with most of the head as well. Yeah. Front hair gets split up into its separate pieces. Oh my gosh, my computer keeps asking if I want to turn on freaking sticky keys. I literally never want that. Let's just move this separately. Eyes can be one layer, but I think I want the eyelashes to remain separate. Okay, so I need the ponytail is separate, the front hair is all in its own separate pieces. The rest of this, I think, can all be in one color. Or sorry, in one layer. Right. Sure there isn't anything. Yeah, I think it's fine. Okay. So it's pretty much everything here. Then the ponytail is separate. The eyes and eyelashes are separate. And the front hair is all separate pieces. And I can mess around now with also potentially putting this like behind everything like that. That's also a way I could do it. Well, that looks pretty good. I'll leave it where it is for the time being, but we'll see. I think that might be everything. So the shadows do need to be in separate layers because merging it would get rid of its ability to multiply, which I don't want. Let's try the signboard version. So it could be like that. Cool. Awesome. Let's see. Is there anything else I want to do now? I think the next steps would be two things. First of all, I have kind of a number of different configurations that I want to save, like export flat images of, like the regular version and the signboard version and whatnot. Second of all, I wanted to turn this into a banner I could use on YouTube. And the tricky thing with that is that when you import an image, it automatically crops it to whatever it's going to do. So for instance, I have this on a layer where this is their like template. So if I wanted to use this, it would end up looking pretty weird. So like the mobile version would just be like this. It would just be that, which is a little bit awkward. So what I'm thinking of doing is putting this in a bigger, basically putting a border around it, like a big frame, so that this image takes up a smaller relative percentage of it, and therefore more of the picture can get into the template area. So that's a thing I'm thinking of doing later. And then, of course, at some point, I'm going to try to animate this. I don't know if that'll be soon or some other time, but I think it would be fun to stream that too. If I could get to show a little bit of animating. Not that I'm particularly good at that. I would probably be attempting to do it in Live 2D, although I know Clip Studio also has some kind of animation capabilities, but I think it's more of like, you know, drawing individual frames type of thing. Whereas what I really need is just to be able to move my existing layers. But anyway, I think that's probably a good spot to end for now. Is this done? I think it might be done. We can also try doing, not that. Try actually cropping it to the correct size and seeing what that looks like. So this would be the final image. That looks nice. I'm quite happy with it overall. The jars did turn out a little bit awkward, but not too bad. Cool. Well, thank you for joining. I hope you enjoyed my ramblings as I colored in some lines. Yeah, I'm really excited to keep working on this and turn it into assets that I can use for various streaming stuff. yeah, I guess that'll be it for this stream. Feel free to come back tomorrow for starting A Space for the Unbound. Brand new stream game. I'm very excited to start it. Yeah. All right. Have a good evening then. Bye, guys.